Hi, well this is the door panel of my 1982 EXP. Not much to it. It's pretty much just a cardboard backing with some foam padded vinyl on it. 82 to 83 they look like this. The 84s and 5s have a speaker here sometimes. Very rarely, like an 83 with a premium audio could have that. I don't know too much about it because, well, most of my cars are 82s. I only got 183, only got 184, so, I don't have much to go off of. But for the most part, this is what they look like. The design carried through almost all the cars, as far as EXPs and LN7s go. Just some different changes. Some of them are cloth instead of vinyl. They all vary in color. But here's my blue one. So there's not much to it. Like I said, there's the backing, and towards the top of it, there is a tin or aluminum piece on the top that pretty much just allows it to keep its rounded structure here on the side and gives the lock a little space so it can't be caved in or anything when you poke at it, hit it, whatever. And then also on that metal piece is a scraper on the inside of the window. Helps the window go up and down, keeps the window from rattling, makes it much more quieter on the interior. So there's that. Yeah, not much to it. They all have a lot of holes, because you have holes to mount your armrest, you have holes for your handle, you got a hole for your window crank, and you got a mirror socket. Being my car only has a driver mirror, it only has the one mirror socket on my driver panel. So what else is on here? Well, you got this the soft elastic map bag, whatever you want to call it. And I haven't taken these apart yet, but you can see that there's a black elastic band and there's blue vinyl stretched across the top of it, and then there's this backing here of blue vinyl. That backing has a whole bunch of metal tabs behind it. And I don't know if there's any metal running long ways within it besides these tabs, but I'll figure that out someday soon, because a very common chronic issue with these is, see these ends fold over like that because the elastics are a little too strong and there's no support on the ends of these, so the ends flop in on both parts of the compartment. So that's about it. On the back side, you got these little pop tabs. You just slide in to pop out, push in, slide to lock in, and now they're there. So, to remove these, there's not too much to it. Just a lot of finessing, a little bit of patience. You have one screw to undo your window crank, not too bad. Okay, just a Phillips screw. And then you have 4 Phillips screws on your armrest to remove. You got one up here in the handle. You have one up there in that hole, one down there in that hole, and one way up above in that hole. And then, once you get all those screws out, this will be loose now. And what you need to be careful is, you can see that they make a hole in this piece for your handle to go through. It's not a very big one, so you need a exercise caution when you're working with these, because it's real easy to rip this and ruin it. I found that if the hole is too big, one, it's not pretty, B, the handle will start to make a little bit more noise. Yeah, a few minor things that all seem to add up to not so great things. But anyhow, once you have this loose, this will flop about around the handle. So just pull your armrest out some, open the handle all the way, and then you should be able to get the armrest completely off. It's not too hard. Just be patient. It'll pop apart. Once you do that, now you get to take your door panel off. To take your door panel off, I'll show you down below here. You can see there's a little gap there, just big enough to fit your hand inside. You put your hand in there, you can start popping out the panel. Like I showed you, it's just a whole bunch of pop tabs. So you undo all the pop tabs, and some will go through the board. These cardboard backings aren't very strong, so some of the pop tabs will stay on the door, but for the most part they'll all stay on the door. So once you got all of them up, you have to fight your door panel up and out of your door, which is kind of tricky. You can see here that the scraper fits the window opening perfectly, which means that there's only one way to get this out, and that is up. And it's a little on the difficult side because your pop tabs are, you can see here that they're about 3/4 of an inch long. So if we say that this was inside, attached to a door, you'd have to pop the bottom out X many degrees to be able to finesse the top part up and out. It's kind of tricky. You can see this all fits perfectly inside the door channel. I can walk around to the other side of my car to show you. But that's something you need to keep track of, because I showed you the panel reaches the top, it rounds over, and then it goes back down about 1/2 inch to an inch to hold it onto this piece panel. Keep it rigid, keep it quiet, keep everything secure. So once you do that, you're pretty much home free. There's no screws holding the panel on, just all those pop tabs. Putting it back on, you want to make sure that all those pop tabs are correctly in the panel. Because if your pop tabs are, say, not in the hole all the way, or if the bigger base, you see there's a small base and there's a big one, if the bigger circle is down underneath here, then your door's not going to go in very far or too far, and then you have issues. You have a lot of fitment issues, and if you're like me, it will just drive you up a wall. So beware of these. Make sure that they're all in the right location. You can see that some of them move easier than others, and they're not for the most part directional. Most of the big holes face one way, but you'll find that some of them face the other way. So there's that to contend with. Setting these down, you gotta remember that you're putting it through a lock pin like that, and that's important. Okay, it's not too hard to bend up this lock shaft, but it is easy to disconnect it from the door latch and locking mechanism down inside here. It's real easy. I'm not able to show you, but believe me, it's real easy to goof that up. So just be careful, be aware that you have this. You have to slide your door over this perfectly. So, just run it straight up and down in there. Go around this. Once you do that, you're pretty much in the clear. You will have to fight your door panel in some spots. It's like down here, it gets really tight. So and your door panel fits really good and snug up against this triangle piece in your normal door panel. But another issue you could have is if the metal is rotting out on the top part of your door interior panel. I've seen where these will try to poke holes through them. So you have that to contend with. So, you know, as long as you're being cautious and taking your time, it won't be an issue for you. But being a rush, and well, now you're going to be hurting. Yeah, that's about it. You also need to be aware of your mirror. If you're installing a door panel, you need to have your mirror in. That's why this one isn't installed yet, because I don't have my mirror in. Speaking of mirrors, you need to be aware of the mirror mount, okay? So in here there is an Allen head slug, a slug screw. So there's no head to it, there's just a spot where you can put an Allen wrench in there, Allen socket, whatever. And that turns the slug, like I said, and it just tightens up on the mirror adjuster, which keeps it inside the cup. So, like for your mirror door cards, the ones that have adjustable mirrors, you need to be sticking this guy in there. And there's not much to it. You'll just want to be sticking this down in there before you push all the pop tabs in and lock your door card in place. So, I know it's a long video, but I wanted to cover all the bases, because some of these are pretty in-depth. I'll have a video on my 84 door card soon, because they have speakers in them. I haven't taken those apart yet, so those will be interesting. I'm also going to be replacing I say cardboard, this kind of like a paper backing. I will be replacing that with some harder cardstock that is extremely compressed paper, kind of like MSD, I think, OSB, something like that. It's a lot like this, but more compact, less susceptible to water warpage. It should last a lot longer, be a lot harder. And then also these guys, these have a paper backing too, so I'm going to replace that with steel sometime soon. So just 1/8 inch or 3/16 of steel. So then those stop warping, and then we won't have any issues. So keep an eye out for that in the future. That will be an upgrade, and we'll get to that sooner or later. But yeah, we'll leave it at that for now. And you guys, enjoy your spring.